Hey, y'all, what's up? I am been gone for a minute. Now I'm back with the. I've been gone for a while. I've been watching. Well, no, I'm lying. I've been watching on and off. Um, I watched Mondays. Didn't respond. I think because this week we've been busy getting ready for Dreamville in the city I live in, and been a part of an event company. We also had events Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that I had to be a part of. So I watched it, but I didn't respond. Friday, I didn't even watch it. Like, I was off. My son, I took my son and my nephew to the pool. The pool had me exhausted. And then the South Carolina Texans game was on for the girls. And I was going to watch, like, log into Spectrum on my laptop and watch it. Couldn't find my charger. So I was like, I'm going to watch basketball. Like growing up, like I said, my two things were like, if I would have freaked out meeting like the OG WWE Attitude Era and basketball, because I wanted to be in the WNBA. I'm very much into basketball. My son plays, I coach him, all that. So, and the girls, the last 2 years, last 2-3 years, to me have been better, having a better March Madness than the guys. Okay, I'm here for the boys because Duke is number one seed, and I watch Duke in Maryland. But so it's Saturday, April 5th. Dreamville is upon us here. Can't go nowhere. I've been out and was ready to come back. But I want to respond to Monday night's Raw. And I know I'm almost a weekend, but I can't let it go. Okay? I'm going to have to catch up on WWE Friday night. Thank God for YouTube through the highlights and the segments that it's showing. Because people, I'm just logged into Twitter and people are talking about the Charlotte Tiffany segment. And I'm like, ugh. I basically saw the Jade Naomi thing on Instagram. Like, I logged into Instagram. That was the first thing that popped up. But like, I can't wait to watch that. Also, this week I watched the Stephanie Places. They was like, it's on Hulu or at ESPN Plus on Disney Plus. I didn't find it. So now unless it comes on Friday live and they show it and they don't have it up nowhere else, it's not up there. Okay. So eventually though, I ended up watching it. Someone else had posted it. So I saw the one with CM Punk. That was real cool. But yeah. So first of all, the night started in, where the hell were they at? They were in London. So the crowd was lit. Okay. Cody comes out. Cody's talking about how he knows Cena's gonna come for him. Nah, 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 nah. And I was like, is he? Because before I was like, if they don't let Cena cook this man or vice versa, like they normally have him do, he just been coming in there complaining about the crowd and then dropping the mic. I'm like, what the hell are we doing? I was like, I don't even want to watch it if we're not gonna get to it. Because what's the point in watching it? You know what I'm saying? So he come out talking about he got a list when he say certain stuff. You know, Cena's gonna say certain stuff, whatever. Cena comes out, whatever. Cody got on this pinstripe suit. Now I like pinstripe. I don't like the gold in it. Like, to me, if it would have been like a purple or red or even like a, well, y'all know lime green is my color. Even like a green or something, like, I feel like that pinstripe gives too much. It gives very much old money, which I'm not mad. He looked great in it. I just didn't personally. I didn't like it. Not hating, but and my favorite look on him is when he doesn't wear a suit, because I'm like, we outside of his gear, we don't see him. We always see him in a suit. So every once in a while when he runs out with like his shirt and his jogger shorts and stuff like that, I'll be like, it's a change up. That's why I like the other clothes better. But yeah, so he had talked about how he know that he's gonna come out and talk about him and this, then the third, and what else. So Cena comes out and Cena goes off. And I'm like, yes, okay. This is what I've been freaking waiting for. Ever since he attacked Cody, had the man looking like Zuko, had him coming out. He would come out once or twice. He done said what he got to say to the crowd. Because I said, if he say something about this crowd one more time, I'm gonna be pissed off. And I'm like, and I love London. And I said, London crowd so indecisive because half the people had on Cena shirts was booing for him and then cheering for him. Also, they loud. They very much like France, which is why I understand why they was Money in the Bank there 2 years ago. Okay, and that's why I was like, seeing that makes me understand why Cena wants WrestleMania there. Listen, let me tell you something. Okay, London is further up. It's across from New England, in the States. I don't know how cold it was there while they were there. Okay, saying that for context, because if you had, is O2 Arena the largest arena in London? Because if you have WrestleMania there and they have the O2 arenas there, the thing about having a WrestleMania overseas, right, is how WrestleMania is the base here in the States, and every independent thing has shows during that week. So if you can't afford WrestleMania tickets, you probably go see I Say Wrestling, or like TNA, or ROW, or what's Rikishi's thing? Was it Knox Pro, right? Or NWA, smaller one companies. Even the people from AEW and ROH be over there. You know what I'm saying? Because they be at Wale Mania. Like, you have so many small independent MLW, GCW, like you have so many small independent companies coming. So even if you go to a watch party when you're just there for the ambiance, it's an experience. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you do that over there, I don't know how many small companies they have over there, but it will vastly help the companies over there. I think that even if the independent companies upcharge during WrestleMania here, it will still help. People will still buy tickets because it's still cheaper than WrestleMania. Also, it'll help the companies vastly, because not only will you be able to make money for your company if it's like borderline in the black versus being in the red, but you can keep salaries off. You ain't gotta let people go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing. Okay. I think over there, I know they have one, I think in Ireland, because I think Becky and Finn talked about it. And I think they have one in Scotland or something in the UK, because I think even Piper and Paige, I think, had mentioned that Drew is such a big thing over there. Like, they love him over there. And whoever Mercedes Moné got that belt from, I know they somewhere over there. Okay. New Japan in NJPW be going over here. So they might be there. The Luchas might be there. Speaking of, if y'all ever have a PLE in Mexico, I'm going to scream. Okay. Sadly, with how the country is going, we might not have that chance. But I so want them to have a PLE in Brazil. And where they had that football game at in Brazil, that stadium, have the PLE there. And then wherever y'all can find in Mexico, have a PLE there. Okay? Like, I seriously want, and I feel like it would be even more dope if we had certain PLEs in certain countries and we have certain matches tailored to how they do matches there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Mexico, you have a lucha match. Now, I don't know how many variations of lucha matches you can have if they have different ones, but get the most popular one. Have one of them in the PLE. You know what I'm saying? Like German, have one where they do the suplexes and all that. If y'all have one in Samoa, right? Have PI, another PI. Have it where they do Samoan drops and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like Japan, have it where they have a match like the Bud. Anyways, so Cody come up, he says that. So John basically was like, says the list and all that other stuff. Then John said something like, used to be my chauffeur. I said, ooh. I said, not my chauffeur. Now, this is me trying to remember, because it's been almost a week. I said, now, I could have sworn John had said something about, Cody had said something about being Randy's chauffeur. And I know he said that multiple times because he said Randy has mentored him. But I don't remember him saying something about being John's chauffeur. So I'm like, was he driving both of them? Or was he driving them at different times? And I was like, wow. I said, oh, we going for real. So then when he said that, Cody comes back with, well, what you trying to say? Like, I can say for myself that the people chose me, aka, you know, the Cody movement last year, Cody crybabies, whatever you're saying. He said, all I can say is one guy in the office had chose you, and we don't even talk about him no more. I said, ooh. I was like, get him, okay? Like, what? I was like them going tit for tat. I was like, oh my God. So then when John basically told him that he was an errand boy that got lucky. He was like, you were basically like, they were looking around for the next new talent. You were an errand boy, got lucky because Cena had one. Cody at one point had said, I know you feel some type of way about you having to compete against Stardust. And I was like, now Stardust with the face stuff might have been crazy. Because, you know, Goldust's brother. But I'm like, Cody with the brown hair was fine. Okay? He still look nice now, but the brown hair is different because it makes his eyes pop. Okay? Just like Rhea's eyes when she wears the purple eyeshadow. It makes her eyes pop. Okay? So I was like, he was. But, you know, part of me thought that we was going to get independent scene Cody. When they showed them clips on Instagram and YouTube when Cody was like, where was he at? ROH. And he was cussing people out in his promos. Part of me kind of wanted that, but I was like, he had them kids shocked, okay? I know his daughter and his wife watches him, so I'm like, he can't say that with little Libby because she'll probably be like, oh, Papa cussing, okay? But I'm like, I think that's why Brandy said she ain't show the second day. Was it the second day or first day of WrestleMania? He said between Cody getting battered like that and stuff like that, and she was like, and then Nana, or I don't know if you call her Nana or Mimi or something, cussing the people out. She was like, yeah, I can't show her that. So now I said, now the errand boy got lucky. So then Cody come back and was like, you done went on Hollywood, you basically lost your touch. And he was like, and you hanging out with Zac Efron, talking about wishing you could be 16. I said, like, literally, I was like, and I said, that's hilarious. I said, because not only did Zac do High School Musical, but he did a movie called 17 again. For the people that have not, like, caught up on these things, okay? Like, if you don't know, I'm just trying to get y'all the context, okay? And it's probably some stuff that I might have missed. And I sat there and was like, I need to watch this again, because after they got done, I was sitting there trying to marinate on everything they were saying. I was like, and part of me wanted to push pause, and I should have, and just did a video based off of everything I heard, and then kept going. But I was like, I gotta keep going. Okay, I think that was the day they had, I think it was on at 4 or 3 or 4 o'clock. And yeah, I had just gotten home because I didn't go nowhere. Was it Monday? My son had a kickball tournament and his sinuses was acting up, so I didn't even leave the house. So I was here. So I was like, and I almost forgot it came on at 3. I love the European times though, mostly for the PLEs, because I be like, on a Saturday 2 o'clock, that I ain't gotta stay up late, okay? But people in Vegas are upset too that they changed the times of WrestleMania to, I think, an earlier time. No, Stand and Deliver, I think, was an earlier time now. But I'm like, they're basing it off, their office is in Connecticut, which is on the East Coast. They always do their things at a certain time. Stand and Deliver is before day 1 of WrestleMania. I was like, that's going to be, you know, you got to get stuff cleaned, and then if it's in the same arena. But Stand and Deliver, I think, is in where they do Friday Night SmackDown. Okay. The only downside to that, though, is some of these superstars probably going to be wanting to Stand and Deliver and SmackDown hungover. Okay. Because Wale Mania is Thursday night. So I don't know what time they gotta be doing the press thing, between the press and then meeting the fans, and then you gotta go to SmackDown after that. Me personally, like, not unless I was a special guest and he sincerely asked me Thursday for Wally Mania, I wouldn't be going. Okay, not in my big age. Like, if I gotta get up, I might as well not even sleep, because then you gotta get up, probably do press, because some of them probably do press like 6, 7 in the morning. Go meet the fans, okay? Then you gotta go to the arena for SmackDown. Then after that, you gotta hightail your tail over to the Hall of Fame jump for Triple H. That's not in it, which we know, until I'm so till like 1 a.m. And I'm so glad that they having it in two different arenas, because last year when my son and I was talking about wanting to go, and they had it in Philly, right, for SmackDown. And I said, when I was like, oh, that'd have been so cool to go to. Then I sat there and was like, they literally sitting in them chairs for 7 hours. I was like, it's no way in hell I could do that. It's no way in hell. Like, I love y'all down, but I'm not doing that. Because I gets there, y'all know the dark match stuff started at 7:30. LJ and I pull up about 7:15, because getting through security and stuff ain't that hard. It's not that bad. Maybe take 10, 15 minutes. Go to the bathroom, find our seats. We go get our food first, because I'm not coming back in the middle of the show. I might miss something. Also, the lines be ridiculous after that. So we go get our foods and stuff first, and then we sit there and watch the dark matches, and then the show come on, and then they might do SmackDown. Used to do a dark match after, because it was only 2 hours, and then Cody or whoever come out and talk, and then you go. So then after that, they'll have to hurry up, change production, and the set people have to change everything. A lot of people, if you sitting there, you sitting there. And then the superstars have to go in the back and put on their dresses and stuff, or their tuxes or whatever. And then you sitting there another 2 hours. I know you be hungry, you be tired. Like, if it's my job. Like, if I'm a superstar, I'm like, okay. So I say I wouldn't go nowhere Thursday night. But if I'm a person, I'm like, Like, me personally, if I got there Friday night and I wanted to go to an event, I would go to the Hall of Fame event. Like, I wouldn't go to SmackDown, to be honest with you. Like, let me chill and rest and stuff. I'll go to the Hall of Fame thing. And depending on what time it'll be, my brain wouldn't have switched over yet. So for me, it's 1 a.m., but everybody else there, it's 10 p.m. I'll be asleep. But yeah, when Cena had said that, he was like, the Zac Efron stuff. I mean, Cody had said that. Then Cena said, he said, I build empires for billionaires. He said, all you do is take money from their kids. I said, ooh. I was like, okay. Oh, wow. Because I was like, oh, so for the people, that don't know how to explain context, the person in the office not there, y'all know it's Vince. He builds things for billionaires. He's, again, talking about helping the revenue of the WWE. And he said, take money from the kids, which they're talking about the convoy at AEW. And then he's a billionaire's son. And I was like, Cody helped with them getting more money and stuff over there. But I'm like, God dang. I was like, that's crazy. And then Cody had came back and said something. I forgot what he said. But for a while, people on there was like, Cody won, because he had the last word. And I was like, because I was on the fence, like, I don't know. I was like, it's tit for tat. Then I had to think about it. I said, Cena still won. I don't care who had the last word. Now, Cody went low, with the Zac Efron stuff. Okay. And that Zip Miss McMahon thing was good. You know what my favorite part of that promo segment was? And this is why I said last year and the beginning of this year, that when you're real close with someone and you make these promos, it makes them better. Especially if you do promos with someone that you're going against in the ring and y'all are close, but y'all know it's business and y'all don't feel bad afterwards. Because like the one with Kofi and Wood, that was a good one. The one with KO and Cody, that was a good one. Them two was the best ones thus far. Okay. It was another one. And I was like, ooh. Cause I was like, but they're close. They have a relationship. I think the one with Punk and Seth, I think it was a real good one. And I was like, yeah, I want to say Damien and Finn at one point, but I would say Finn is better in the ring. He's okay on the mic, but he's better in the ring versus mic skills. Um, but I was like, that's such a good promo. And I was like, this is what we've been waiting for. Because I'm like, nothing felt to me outside of the two triple threat matches that we're going to get, okay, with the guys and the girls. Nothing else felt like WrestleMania to me, okay? Like we knew Naomi and Jade was going to be on WrestleMania, like the build up. Nick announcing it on Friday, which I saw on my Instagram earlier. That wasn't no surprise, okay? Bianca, Rhea, and Io, we know it's going to be what's her name on WrestleMania. Even she put it on her comments on her photos and said, cause Lena, that's her name on there. What's her persona name? Uses my brain. Nia Jax had said something about her outfit, and she was like, "Well, you could be a part of the triple threat." That's what Bianca had put. She was like, in WrestleMania, she put. I was like, somebody said Fatal 4-Way. So, but we already knew that. But you know what I'm saying? And then, because I'm like, WrestleMania has been all the titles are on the line, and then you might have a couple of them where there's no titles, but they're good. They have a good enough rivalry. So I'm like Bron and Jacob. Like Jacob and Braun Strowman could be a WrestleMania match. You know what I'm saying? Like Trinity and Jade will be a WrestleMania match. Um like AJ and I'm gonna get to that. I was gonna say AJ and Logan, but I'm gonna get to that. So then New Day wrestles. So they trying to figure out who they gonna wrestle for to become a contender to get the titles against War Raiders. When I heard New Catch Republic, the way I screamed, okay? Now, I was introduced to Tyler Bate during Deadline. Like I said, when I was watching sporadically NXT. Great. So when he got called up and then they put him with, I was going to say Butch P, I was like, okay. So then when he had, I think it was a house show or a European show, he got injured and was out for 8-9 months. And what's in the head said he been out. And I was like, oh, I was like, Tyler. And I was like, he done the man cut his hair off. I was like, this is about to be an interesting match. I was like, New Day is good. And then you got New Catch Republic Pete with the finger thing and Tyler with the airplane spin thingy. And I was like, so this is gonna be a good match. The match was real good. I was real excited for this match. Y'all know I'm here for the tag teams. I love New Day down, and Woods is funny as hell. Let me tell you. So now everybody has been trying to do Twitter stuff. Drew is still the GOAT at it, okay? Drew is the GOAT at it. And I would say coming in second and third will be Chelsea and Karrion Kross, okay? KO is up there when he was doing his car promos. But them three GOATs at this, okay? So Woods be putting stuff up, talking trash. Him and Joaquin have went at it for a little bit. That's why some of the matches get, announced. But my favorite thing with him now is anybody could get it. He don't care if you old, young, baby. Because when Kev on stage, a social media personality for those in the Black community, some other people might know him, but he's mainly known in the Black community. He was at the Madison Square Garden show. And when he had reposted Woods talking trash to him, and he was like, and Churchy sucks and all this other stuff. But there's been house shows in Europe where they show Woods fussing the kids out with the kids flicking him off. So after they won the match, Kathy comes up and talks to them, which she looked fabulous, by the way, okay? And I was excited Jackie was back, because I was like, girl, where you been at? I know it's hockey season, okay? Where you been? And also, what's your take on the Washington Caps? Because now let's overcheck in the got 2 more goals last night. He's 2 goals away when I last checked last night from beating Gronkowski's record for the most shots ever. When he retires, my mom is gonna be real sad. Like, she's a Washington Caps fan down to the bone, and she loves him. Okay, so and their biggest rivalry was the Hurricanes when they lost. That was such a. I think they played them Wednesday or Thursday and lost 5-1. And I'm up the street from where they played the Hurricanes at the Lenovo Center or PNC Center, and I'm like, my mom would have been there with her Cap stuff on, and the whole thing was red. Okay, but anyways, I'm like, Jackie girl, where you been? Okay, looking great, per usual. You know what I'm saying? Kathy looked great. So when Kathy was interviewing New Day, they was basically like, it's our time to become champions. We haven't held gold, I think they said, in 4 years. Kofi was mainly doing the interview. So first I was like, what happened to Wood's hair? Like, he had a dark spot right here. I was like, I don't know if that happened or if it's just like a birthmark. Second of all, it's a kid fussing behind him. It's a kid behind him fussing. And the look on his face, like, so after she asked him what she asked him, more ratings come out. So I'm over there losing my mind. Like Monday, y'all know, out of the 2 shows in the past 2-3 years I've been watching, Raw has been my show. Like, the only reason why I really rocked with SmackDown at the time is because the Bloodline, the old Bloodline with Sammy and them was on there. But other than that, like, Raw was my show because Raw had Bianca at the time. They had Alpha Academy. They had I think they had Alpha Academy, New Day, and Street Profits, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or maybe New Day might have been on SmackDown. But I know they had Alpha Academy and Street Profits and Bianca, and then they had Becky and Nia. Like, they had all the girls, okay? And then, like, War Raiders. So, they've had, who else they've had? They've had R-Truth and Miz. I forgot the name of their tag team they call each other. The Awesome Truth. And then they've had the Creed brothers. Like, and y'all know tag teams is my thing. So Raw was my show. Okay. Not only were the tag team storylines great, the women's storylines was great. I'm here for the tag team and the girls. Like, okay. So Raw coming, he looks at War, then the War Raiders come out. So I'm like, Ivar is my guy. Like, he was one of the main reasons why I was sticking out with Raw as my favorite out of the 2 for that whole year. Okay? Because he did great as a single star while Eric was injured. So, like, it was a couple people. I think it was him. For the guys, it was him, Ricochet, Bronson. It was Pat being there. It was Jackie being there. It was Samantha being there. I think it was Tegan being there. Bianca, she wasn't on Raw last year. It was the Party Girls, Katana and Kaden being on there. It was, I ended up liking Zoe. Zoe grew on me because I didn't really know her from NXT, but she's grown on me. I just don't like that they don't have her separate. Like, they always have her attached to somebody, because they had her attached to Trish, and then she betrayed Trish, and then they had her attached to Shayna, and then it was her, Shayna, and Sonya. Now it's her and Shayna. Like, I wonder how she does as an individual. So I might have to look at some old matches. But like, it was, you know. So and also Ivy and Maxine, I liked them 2 together as a tag team at the time. But when he saw me, I was like, Ivar! And then they stared at each other. And then the War Raiders, I guess, went to the ring. So then when commercial cut, right, I go on Twitter. They got a video of Woods arguing with the little boy. I'm crying because I'm like, somebody was like, so for you, it's anybody could get it, huh? He was like, I don't care, baby. Little kid, like, you argue with me. He's like, I'm arguing back. And the mom is just smiling, recording, and I'm cracking up. Like, what is wrong with him? Like, what is wrong with him? Okay. So then they had Big Jim versus Gunther. Okay. And then my emotions had switched because they had Big Jim versus Gunther for just the match. Gunther comes out. Jimmy comes out. It's a pretty solid match, I know. And then I forgot what happened. I remember one point in time. It's been I think 1 or 2 times Gunther had it. He could have just pinned Jimmy and went on. Because Cole said, I'm trying to figure out why he ain't pinned him. He had a chance to pin him twice or something like that, he said. So he does more damage and then he pins him. You know, Jimmy told Jay he don't need him out there. He got it, right? This big bro. You know what I'm saying? So after all of that, he's over there getting him and stuff. So I'm like, what the hell? Where the hell is security at? So then Jay comes running out. I'm like, God dang, he coming down there. Pat talking about some boy running a full forward down the ramp. I said, okay. So he comes down there. Gunther beats Jay into zip tying him to the ring. I said, this is not going to end well. Okay. I could still feel the emotions in my spirit. I was like, this is not going to end well. Okay. And then, so he does all that. Continues to hit Jimmy. Hurt Jimmy, hit Jimmy, hurt Jimmy, keep whatever. Jimmy starts bleeding. That's when I get pissed. Okay? Because I'm like, my man's was out 6 months last year. From April to October. You hear me? He just came back, I think, right after Bad Blood. Or doing Bad Blood. Because he had, what's the name? His mask. And because I could tell apart, as soon as I seen his eyes, I said, that's Jimmy. And I said, oh, Jimmy back. So he came back, you know what I'm saying? And then he was in Survivor Series and broke his toe. Like, he only been active 5 months, maybe. Said, y'all about to injure this man and cause this man to be out again. I said, where the hell is security at? And the daggone, where is Pierce and them at? Still getting beat. Now Jay is pissed. Jay is trying to, he cussing him out. He called him the F word, S word, all the letters in the alphabet. He's cussing his ass out. You hear me? So I'm going to fuck you up. Like, I heard it. He said, I don't want to hear shit. I said, his brother is Lee. I said, one thing you don't do. I said, they brothers, but they twins. I said, you see how each one of them bucked at you when you tried to come for the other one. I said, you don't play with him like that. I said, and not Jimmy, okay? Like, that's my, like, if I was, like, that's my dog. Like, y'all see me wear no yeet shirts in some of these videos. Like, that's my guy. You hear me? Like, my son loves Jay down. Like, I like Jay too. But Jimmy's my guy, okay? So all this stuff is happening. Then Pierce and them gonna come out and Pierce gonna talk about some, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, where the hell was you at 3-4 minutes ago? Talking about some, what the hell are you doing? Y'all gonna sit there and let this man have him bleed? He got blood all on him. What the hell is wrong with y'all? So I said, Jay's definitely winning this title. I said, if this don't put no fire up under Jay, I don't know what else will. I said, the man only quit the I Quit match because his brother was coming back from the Achilles surgery, limped down there and tried to stop his cousin, his brother from fighting, and got put in the guillotine back when, during the Thunderdome era. And that's the only reason why Jay quit, because Jay wouldn't have quit. I said, now Gunther done mess with his brother. I said, all hell about to break loose at WrestleMania. You hear me? I said, if Jay don't win this, just based off of that alone, I don't know what to tell him. I said, but that right there would have had me, boy. Like, what do you go back there and say before that? The writer's like, all right, do they do the blood pack still? Like, we gonna have a blood pack, or we gonna have him cut you lightly, or you cut yourself lightly, and we gonna do this off. Because then they talking about something, we need to know the state of Jimmy. I said, I know one thing, he better not be out for some months. I said, I know that. I said, he better be there at WrestleMania. That's what I know. Okay? Like, I understand to sell the story. And I'm here for a good story. But I'm like, I could have did somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have did Solo. No shade. That's wrong. Because that's his brother. But that would have helped Jay come to that would have been another layer on the story if they did this Solo instead of Jimmy. Because, you know, Jimmy would have get out there like, that's still our brother. It would have helped flip some stuff around. And then Solo could have been over there with his brothers and then left Tama and Jacob over there. Like if they would have did that. But don't do that. Okay? So then Penta and Bron, so the Judgment Day is back there talking before all this. And as soon as Finn comes out and has a conversation, Raquel just looks at her and goes. So then they walk off and she's telling Carlito to go off. And she was like, we're going to talk about, basically, they're going to talk about how to get back Bailey and Lyra for next week or something like that. And I say, Raquel don't like Finn at all. Okay? So I'm like, what I'm seeing is either they're going to kick him out the Judgment Day, like how when Finn entered the Judgment Day, they kicked the Edge out. Or he going to be so fed up with them, he going to leave. I said, but the way she looked at him in disgust, I said, we got about 3 more months of that. I said, if they drag it out long enough, they have good writing, it's going to be 6 more months of that. But I'm like, Dad, okay, I don't know. Okay, like, I don't know what's about to happen. Okay, so then Penta is the Judgment Day, which is the Dom and the Finn. It versus, which I was like, do they got a new song? Because they had some type of other song. And I was like, do they got a new song? Because it's more so, I want to say like hip hop rock versus heavy metal type rock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So then Bron comes out, the dog's barking. When Penta comes out, he does this. And I said, why is he walking out the ring like that? The Penta and Bron match is, they're two very skilled wrestlers. You could tell that they haven't wrestled together before because they weren't as in sync. But at the same time, because of certain situations, Penta got hit by Bron. I think he got speared, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think, was it once or twice? I think Bron might have got hit, and then they ended up losing. And Penta looked pissed. But I'm like, it was an accident. I was like, I don't think, to me, Bron ain't that type. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has been. But I'm like, when it comes to, and I can't wait for Dragunov to come back, because that match with him and Dragunov on Raw last year was everything. That was a PLE worthy match. But when he and like even when he had the triple threat against Sheamus and Kaiser, I don't think he attacked them. I think the only person he attacked, I think, might have been Jay when they had the fight for the match. For the title. Like, I think that's it. I'm trying to remember, because he hasn't had that many matches as an IC champion. He's had one against Finn. I don't know. And Dom basically, Liv basically told Dom to stop trying to put Finn in these situations when it's three y'all men in this category, and you need to be putting yourself in certain situations. And people are like, well, she said, matter of fact, I'm gonna go do it. And people gonna be like, ooh, how Finn gonna feel? But I'm like, she not lying. Okay, y'all might look at Finn because Liv because she the villain. Liv is still one of my girls. I don't care how crazy she get. The crazy is the part I love about her. Okay, but I'm like, you can only set your friend up for, say their name. Even in real life, you can only say their name as much as you can in a positive light. People, they're opening doors for you. People are going to remember you when you say name. Oh, well, such and such said this person's going. But if that's not who they want, you can't stop them from the person from getting somebody else or getting you instead. So I'm like, Dom, you done set Finn up to get tag titles, IC title, world championship, and he hasn't got any of them except for the tag titles. Like, go ahead and get you a match for the IC championship. Like, I'm not, okay? And if I was Liv and that was my man, I wouldn't feel, I'd do the same thing. Pat had me cracking up, though, because he said Dom looked like how a public bathroom smell. And I was like, with that wet hair, you do. I was like, it's the beard, though. I said, it's that mustache that he growing out with that. I was like, Because when his hair's dry, he look okay. But I'm like, it's that beard. Like, cut that. I mean, the mustache. Cut that, okay? So then Logan and AJ have a conversation. What's funny to me is, first of all, Logan had a full beard, which I don't think I've ever seen him in on TV. He comes out, I said, between his travel and that newborn baby, I said, it's kicking his ass. Because I've never seen him with a full blown beard. And then I seen him in that outfit, and I was like, I wonder how much his stylists get paid. Only because I know on Impossible, when he had the interview with Seth, he was like, he paid someone to style him because if not, he would come out in t-shirts and like shorts. And I was like, basically, I don't know what his style is, but I'm like, what he had on was nice looking, but it was pretty basic. So I'm like, how much does he pay his stylist to clothe him? Because I'm like, he could hire me and I could do the same thing with a little razzle dazzle on top. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And then AJ comes out and he had said something. And I think Logan had said, like, I don't do matches like these for free. Basically, he's like, they got come money, like that's why he do PLEs. And then he was like, you haven't had a title since such and such. He had told Logan. And I said, not you talking about him not having no titles, but he had them. Like, yeah, you might have had a US championship sooner than he's last had a title. But I'm like, this man is going in the Hall of Fame in TNA, period. Okay? I'm like, he's one of the people that changed the game in the narrative of TNA. From what I was told. I can't remember when he debuted, but I think it was right after I stopped watching. Okay? But I was like, just based off of all the, and this is not just one source. I've heard various sources say this. And I was like, you coming for his neck? Like, I was like, he might be older, but these older people, the seasoned millennials, as we would say, they like 45 to okay, so the oldest millennial is 45 because that's 1980 to, what you say, 85? So 39 to 45. They wouldn't be in the ring still if they still have it or still love what they did. Like, you sleeping on AJ, okay? Second of all, he done got brolic as hell when he was gone away for 4 months for that ankle. Like, Logan, you might be in trouble. So he said what he said, and then they get into it. And then AJ had him for a while, and then he hit what Pat call it? The pulverizer. That's a good move. I said, y'all hate Logan all y'all want to. Okay, good, bad, indifferent. It's like, you can't deny his ability in the ring. Okay, now I go based off of what I know of people. You know, and people always say he's a real bad human being, like white, black, purple, green, blue. Everyone said it because I watched this podcast where this girl rates wrestlers. I was watching this episode. I was also watching Watch Mojo when they were showing like wrestlers who people hated but now they loved. And I was like, some of these wrestlers shouldn't even be on here. Oh, it was the Stash Club Wrestling, and I forgot homegirl name, but she was rating like some of how he looked, and I think she put him as a 9 because she was like, he's a bad person. But I don't be into influencers and stuff like that. So I'm not saying he's not, and I'm not saying he is. I just don't know. I just know him based off of, I know he used to do Vines and stuff, but like I mainly know him now from wrestling. Like anything else in between, that's not my age group because his fan base is younger kids, and I'm big grown. So yeah. So and I was on Twitter, and then I stopped. I didn't get back on Twitter until 3 years ago when I started back watching wrestling. So anything else that was said, like stuff like that, like about certain celebrities, stuff, I don't be knowing because I don't care that much to be trying to keep up. If it wasn't on at the time, Dish Nation, Wendy Williams, when she had her show, and when I used to watch TMZ live real heavy, which I've been stopped doing that, I didn't care. I don't even follow the Shade Room. I've been stopped following them too. But I was like, this is gonna be a good match. I said, now I know he's only done PLEs, which every PLE he's killed. Like, but I was like, I don't know if they're gonna put this as a PLE. Because how many titles do we have? We have both men's titles, both women's titles, that's 4. Tag team men's title, that's 6. Women's tag title, that's 7. Then you have man and woman's IC title. What? That's 9, right? Men and women's US title, that's 11. Am I missing a title? I think that's 11. That's 11 title. That's 11 matches, right? And normally at WrestleMania, there's 6, hold on. There's about 7 matches. Because I think the first night last year was 7 matches. And the second night might have been 8, I think. So if it's 14 matches in all, they only have space for 3 non-title matches. So the non-title is going to be the Naomi jump, the triple threat jump, and then the third one will be, I don't know who the third one will be. Maybe the Logan AJ thing, but it could be very much so on. For me, that would be a raw match, like the Raw after WrestleMania, only because I will put Bron and Jacob there. If they still had the feud by WrestleMania, I would put them 2 in that spot, 1000%. And if Bronson's back by then, have him disrupt that match, 1000%, and that would be 15. Right there. 14. How many other matches? I don't know. But that's what I would do. Because he's even tweeted and said something about tsunamis and this, that, and the third. And he was like, "Hi, tsunami, all of these people." He was like, "I'm the monster," or something, monster tamer, or something he said. Like, because I follow him on. He's such a heel on Twitter. Also, Logan's song is such a heel song. His song talking about how he humble, and I sat there listening to the lyrics, and I was like, he talking about his mansion, but he humble. I'm like, dog, if you don't get the hell out of here with that song. So then the next match was the next thing was Bianca as the ref. Her outfit, first she had the suit on, so I'm like, she refing in that, but then she came on the outfit, and I know before she was like, she didn't have a sewing kit, so she had to sew what she had by hand. So when she showed it, I said, "Okay, girl." Then I was like, "You sewed that by hand?" And that's the same response. That's exactly how I was thinking and saying it. Because Michin was like, "Listen, let me tell you something." She was like, "Bianca could put an outfit together with gum, paper clips, and a shoestring." I said, "Okay." Because the fact that you sewed that by hand and not a machine, what, girl? Okay. Like, that's crazy. And I don't know if the sewing machine ain't get there in time or you just ain't have one, but the fact that they didn't have one in the UK to me is baffling, especially in London. Like, that's crazy. Like, or it must have been expensive as hell, or I don't know. I was just like, I'm just surprised. So when EO and Rhea came out, the match was fair. You know what I'm saying? Also, speaking of, why the hell was Wade there? So y'all know Monday nights is Pat and Cole, okay? So when they had Wade there, I'm like, now did Wade miss his flight, or he staying an extra day because he's from the UK and he went to go see his folks and stuff and wanted to stay? Because I'm like, why is it 3 people commentating? We don't need you to be there. We cool with now him being there. You know what I'm saying? Didn't take away nothing, but I was just confused. Like, why we got 3 people on a Monday night? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. I was just like, okay. So then, I think, yeah, so he come out, she calls it even down the thing. You know, Wade is always a disruptor. So he was like, she might have counted too slow. She counted too slow. Something, something, something. And I said, wait, now, you know, daggone well, Bianca ain't count too slow. It was the same the whole time with her count. She didn't slow it down, like how Punk did with the match with Drew, and who the hell did Drew fight? And he slowed down the count. Like, it wasn't like that. Okay? It was very much regular. And she tried to keep it fair. Because after, like, Rhea had hit the girl, she even gave her a couple hits, more hits, because she'll let Rhea do it once or twice, and then she'll count to 5. Like, so I'm like, y'all trying to make it seem like she out here to one side or the other. I was like, she's done the same for Io. I was like, it wasn't until she was holding Io moved, that she got hit in the face, that she was like, oh, hell. So then I think it happened again when Io did it to her again, and did it to her this time. And then she was like, oh, hell no. Because I'm like, she just came back too. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, hold on. So I wasn't telling that till she was like, oh, hell no. And she called it off, and it became disqualified. So I was like, as her, them being a double disqualification, it still allows Io to keep her title. So, Rhea's pissed. Because first of all, Rhea was pissed when she had pinned Io, and Bianca was still out of the ring trying to get her life together. And I'm like, you can't be mad that she trying to get her life together and you kicked her in the face. So now she done riptied Bianca. I forgot what else happened between the three of them. And I said, it's definitely going to be a triple threat match. I said, we already know it's going to be a triple threat match. I said, but it's definitely going to be a triple threat match. I said, okay, so now, okay, like the matches that I'm looking forward to. Of course, the boys triple threat and the girls triple threat. Them two have never changed. Okay, and if it wasn't for Cena being Cena and him aligning up with The Rock, I would have had Bianca, Rhea, and Io finishing out day 1, and then the triple threat for the guys finishing out day 2. But I know Cody is probably going to finish day 1 or day 2, because we're probably going to have Stone Cold coming, since he's coming for WrestleCade and the matchup that's going into the Hall of Fame. So 9 times out of 10, he's going to be there, because he's the other neutralizer to The Rock. Like last year, we had Undertaker as a neutralizer. You know what I'm saying? And then we had Cena, because him and Cena had the beef. And I love that. Like that play, them last like 2 minutes, I was like, okay. Because Jimmy tried to come out. Jay countered him. Jay took the brunt of the fall. That's why Monday he was wrapped like this. Because I'm like, you watch the way Jay turned his body. He turned it so he hit the table more than Jimmy. Then it was Solo had came out. Then Cena came out, because him and Cena had that thing, the crown of jewel. So then The Rock came. Then Undertaker came. So it was like a whole thing. So I'm like, if they do something like that this year, it would have to be, I don't know, because I was thinking like KO come out and then Stone Cold come out. I don't know, but I got a feeling that situation would happen. So my Triple H can't come out. He retired. He retired from in-ring activity, and I was like, that would be the only other person to stop The Rock. I don't think Sting and Rock has ever had a thing. If I can't remember that far back right now. And he still, I think, is affiliate with AEW. But so then the thing in it, so everybody's like, ooh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? We was like, we know what's gonna happen, okay? Like, let's get this triple threat together, okay? So we can figure out. Now we gotta figure out the orders. Because what Triple H say, the last WrestleMania documentary thing, not the one that they showed on YouTube, which I was very disappointed with, but the one I think before that, when he was showing like his days leading up to, and then he had to fly like to the venue, then he had to fly like back to California, and then he had to fly to back to the venue like the next day. I mean Connecticut, then fly back to Philly. But he said he did that at SummerSlam too, because I think he said he flew to Nashville for something, Then had to go back to Connecticut because I think it was one of his daughter's birthdays. Then had to come back. So I'm like, he got a lot of frequent flyer miles. But I'm like, just to put the things in order would be it for me. Me, honestly, if I'm not headlining, main eventing WrestleMania, I would want to open WrestleMania. I feel like outside of closing and opening, the people that open it gets the most power after that, because you set the, so even if you go over a couple minutes, or the person after you does a promo and goes over and the people in the middle get cut, I done had my full match. Okay. I feel like the person that's in the middle has it the worst. Like the middle only has it the worst because if the crowd participation goes down, dips a little bit, you need a good enough match in the middle where it's going to get the crowd interested again. Like last year, I wasn't even really looking forward to the Gunther Sammy match. Okay, I wasn't like that. Like I knew it was going to be a good match, but like it wasn't one of the matches that I was like, ooh. Like the main matches I was like was the Bloodline versus Seth and Cody, like that, because I thought Seth was going to turn on Cody. That was one of the main matches. The men's separation of the tag titles was a match I was looking forward to. The big three match I wasn't really looking forward to as much. I just wanted to see the outfits and stuff like that, like how everything was going to play out. I was looking forward to the Pride versus Final Testament. Like that was one of my favorite matches. And who were the tag champions at the time? Damage Control. So they didn't have their titles on the line, but they was there with the titles. So I think them three. Oh, and the Jimmy and Jay match, but it wasn't. I feel like they cut that short and they didn't build up on it as much. And then there was another match with the girls that I was looking forward to, but it was like out of the 14 matches, it might have been 6. I was like, okay, the ones that everybody was anticipating, I wasn't really looking forward to, even though I did cry when Cody won the belt. I was Sam. Like when Sam voice broke and was announcing it, that was definitely me. But I was like, I should have seen the red flags, because you know when you intro SmackDown and they show his picture and he goes, acknowledge me. I was like, when I watched it back, I said, I didn't even notice that they changed it to the star thing. So that should have let me know right there that his reign was going to end. And then people was like, oh, he losing his title because Brandy came out with him. I was like, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Like I was so invested in everything else around. Like I didn't sit there and let it marinate. Like I don't be in it too deep like that to be like, oh, they're winning because of, like, certain stuff is obvious when you've been watching consistently, but other stuff like that, I just be happy to be there. so like, yeah. So this year, if once I learn the lineup, I want to know. But like, because like if Chelsea has a match for her U.S. title, I would be more interested in that versus any other match for the girls outside of like the Naomi Jade thing. Naomi Jade thing will be okay, but like the triple threat for the girls, and if Chelsea had like a U.S. championship, like her, Zelina, Michin, B-Fab in the Fatal 4-Way, I would definitely be looking forward to that. And then like the guys triple thing, and then I will only say Cody and Cena's because I would want to see how it ended. I would want to see how that ends. And the KO and Randy, I'm on the fence about. I would want to see how that ends too. But whatever other matches they have, I'm now if War Raiders is in WrestleMania for the titles, I'm definitely watching the tag team match. I would definitely be watching. Like if they was on there, Street Profits on there, definitely watching. I look forward to it. I know I'm here for the tag teams, but other than that, I'm just be like, don't care. No shade. But I hope you guys have a great day. Okay, what time is it? It's 3:22 where I am, Amazon. Dreamville is on Amazon in my house. It's 90 degrees outside. That's another reason why I did not want to be out there for 13 hours. I don't do heat like that. Like, I love it. And I used to live in Florida for a little bit. I love it, but I don't be outside popping out like that. If I'm not in the pool or underneath a lanai or something like that, don't tell me come outside. But yeah. Have a great day. Okay? Be blessed because you are blessed. And love you all. Bye.